Welcome to Cackling in the Void.
My name is Ashley.
And my name is Kaylee.
Let's see if the void echoes back today.
Welcome back. We are starting chapters 9 and 10 for our review.
Look at us go.
I know. I can't believe we're already so far into Iron Flame.
I know. I feel like we just started it.
It does feel like we just started, but here we are already on chapters 9 and 10.
Like it's so. I think it's because it's. I mean, it's not slow, but it's like not fast paced. But like it's. It doesn't have a big like this is this and this is that and this is who this is and this is who that is because it kind of shows you as things are happening. So it seems like it's so much faster.
I also feel like we're just now familiar with the characters, and so we don't have to waste time introducing every single new character. There's, yes, a couple new characters in the book. Only, like, what, two or three with... Yeah. But also, like, only 2 or 3 with new names. We've heard all of the other names, so we kind of have context clues about who they were, even if they weren't a large part of the story yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, like she said, we were starting with chapter 9 with... Violet is having nightmares about Resin. I'm so sorry. I forgot her name. I was like, no. Imogen, no. The other people, no. Violet. It's Violet. Violet is having nightmares about Resin. And so she's
Which
not
is
sleeping.
Completely understandable.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how could you sleep after that? Like, it seems like a extremely difficult situation to be in, because that was like her first real battle that she's ever been in.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was a first year, and first years aren't supposed to see combat.
Yeah. And she saw all of that, and one of her best friends died.
That is very true, which I think is a hard thing to process, which I still think that she's struggling with processing it in general still. And you can kind of see through the text that she is.
Yeah. And, you know, so Imogen actually ends up catching up with her. And she's like, what are you doing up? Like, your second year now, you get an extra hour of sleep. And she's like, I can't sleep. And how did you, like, are you following me? And Imogen's like, I have the room above yours, you dumbass. I also can't sleep. What are you doing? And, you know, they're kind of just talking, and Violet's like, oh, I'm running because I won't make it if I'm separated from Taryn. I cannot run.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a great callback for her to be like, Soleil didn't make it. That was the reason why, is because she watched somebody die because she wasn't fast enough to make it back to her dragon. And she's realizing that she needs to be faster. She needs to train harder, and, you know, they both have to do this. And I love that Imogen still has that extremely hard exterior and like coldness towards her. I don't know if coldness is the right word. Maybe it's like brashness.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, but it's still like, but you could also see like the warmth kind of breaking through and her starting to care about her and starting to do like all of these things. And, you know, Imogen starts stretching, and Violet's like, what are you doing? And she's like, we're not fast enough yet, but we will be. And they start running together.
And I love that. Because
I love it so much.
I mean, I feel like it's no secret, but I really have always liked Imogen. Even in the first book, because, like, what a hardcore move just to go out and break somebody's arm right away. Just, especially like the main character's arm, you know? I just think that I loved the setup about how they met. and now to see where it has evolved after Resin and Aphine and things like that, it's really nice to see.
And might I say, we called it. You
I
called it even better than I did.
know.
That was
I
so
know.
wild. And, Violet also does mention that keeping her shields up is a lot harder than she thought it would be.
Mhm.
And she talks about or Taryn mentions, he's like, it should be like having clothes on. Like, you'll notice if they're down, but she's not quite at that point.
I also think that it's extremely difficult to be at that point when you just started shielding, like, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah. And it sucks because of all the people, she needs to be one of the ones that could shield, like a third year, but
Mhm.
she's not there yet. Even though she is good at shielding, and I mean, it's one of the reasons Xaden, fell for her, is she was just so proud of herself because she was able to do it. He does remark back in somewhere in Fourth Wing, chapter 20 something.
Yes. Mhm.
And he does remark, he's like, I couldn't do that for months.
Yeah.
But still,
Because
it's hard and it's exhausting.
Mhm. It's also just a really hard skill in general to have because not many people need to do it. Like, I don't know if that's necessarily a super common skill that they teach.
I think they do teach it. I think they teach it so you could shield from your dragon's like emotions and stuff like that. Because that's why Xaden said that they needed to do it. Because, Taryn and Sigale were having a bit of a good time and left their doors open on their end, and so humans have to shield that way.
Yeah, but I know that it's commonplace for Xaden and most likely all of the
Mated pairs.
Mated pairs, and not only that is like all of the people that have rebellion relics. I'm sure that's a very commonplace thing, but I don't know if Dane shields his dragon. I don't know if
Yeah, I feel like
Ree or Riddick or Sawyer do either.
they probably know the basics of shielding, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have to have it up 24/7 and like
Yes.
shield to the
Mm-hmm.
degree that the marked ones at Violet have to.
Yeah. I just find it quite interesting.
Yes. And Ree is very confused on why Imogen is there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ree and the other leadership are coming out of the building because they had a leadership meeting before formation happened, just to sort out the things with basically the entire third squad being eliminated.
yeah, that was pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
And having to reshuffle people, and so yeah, and then they run into each other, and she's like, "Why are you with Imogen? I thought she hated you. Didn't she like break her arm or something? Like, what is happening?"
Mm-hmm. And Violet in this moment is trying not to give anything away to Ree, but I also think that it's hard seeing Ree's confusion and her response of, "Oh, this isn't confusing. Why are you
Mm-hmm.
confused?" And just very like nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we just run together. It's not a big deal because we just do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that after they like run and do the things, they go to their first battle brief of the year. And also, I thought it was really interesting that it was mentioned. And I know it's obvious. I know that it's obvious, but they have like different clothes for different points of the year. Did you notice that?
Yeah, because the weather changes, Ashley.
Yes, I know, but I think it's fun how it was like mentioned, like, oh, we're in our summer gear rather than our winter. And
Ew, Ashley's sick. And she's fucking old. And doesn't know how saliva works, I guess.
You gonna finish your original sentence there?
No.
Menace. Anyway. So, they go to battle brief and Markham's there because they're in battle brief. It's the only class that they're taught by a writer and also a scribe. And so Devera and Markham are still the teachers there. And they are, teaching as they do. And Violet comments on how she's really upset with Malcolm because there's no way he does not know what's going on beyond the borders. Melgren.
I'm sorry. I know that was such a delay of me saying that.
So then, she does comment on how she's upset with Markham because he's, the head scribe. And there is no way that Markham does not know what's going on behind the borders. There's no way he does not know because we find out that he wrote the textbook and of like Navarre history. And so she knows he did something or he was like made to do something. And, he... Any other thoughts, Kaylee? So then...
I'm sorry. I just felt like you were looking at me like I should be saying something. And
I said, do you have any other thoughts? Because I got stuck.
So valid.
So then we also learn, because, they're doing like they did last year, they go over questions and they make the students ask questions to figure out and put the pieces together and finish the puzzle as best as they can. And Markham kind of starts answering questions even though he's not supposed to. But then we also do learn that Basgiath gets information before it goes to the king. And so then we learn...
It's so interesting.
It's so interesting.
But also, not only that, is he is giving them answers, but also letting the second year's answer before the first year's.
Yep. And normally...
So that's like another mistake that he was doing.
And it starts
in
with
the first class.
Years. What?
I said in the first class, too.
In the first class, yeah. And it always starts with the first years asking questions because, they're new to this. They need to learn how to think critically, especially in these situations, because you're going to be going and fighting griffins and what they believe is griffins anyway.
Yes.
And so, and Violet does comment on how, wow, the first years this year don't have critical thinking skills. Like, they're not asking the right questions. And that she's like, I really hope that they learn.
Yeah, I hope that they learn. But then she also sits and wonders, is that how we sounded? When we started?
Yeah.
It's a very odd, like, surreal feeling that they're having being second years.
Yeah. And then, after the first years get to ask some questions, they open the floor up to the second and third years, and they start asking questions. Ree asks questions. Violet does end up asking a question before, you know. And so
Mm-hmm.
poor Emil and Athbean was attacked, is what we find out.
Yes. Which is so interesting to find out. And Violet does ask the question. Sorry, re-asked the question. Do you think that they targeted that outpost because they knew that it was empty for war games?
Yeah.
And then he replies with, possibly, but because of the Paromish unrest happening, it seems like their sources of information got delayed because they attacked 8 days after. Which was
How
news
interesting.
to Violet and everybody because she openly states, what Paromish unrest? We haven't heard anything about this.
Yeah.
When did this
And
happen and why did that happen?
yeah. And they also, Violet does ask, oh, where were the Griffin Riders found in the
Mm-hmm.
building? And they do say in the armory. So all like the marked ones and Violet, because obviously we're in Violet's head, know that it's for a supply run.
Yes. And not only that is she openly states, I wish I was up in the third year, I don't know, standing room, like, so
Up
that
where
I
they
could
are.
talk to them. Yeah, up where they are so that I can talk to them and I can see what they're thinking to see if what I'm thinking is correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, that does suck. I would also want to talk with people that I know what's going on about
Mm-hmm.
what they're talking about in Battle Brief.
I would too, but also at the same time, it is a little risky.
Oh, absolutely. She needs to learn to shield better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she'll get there.
Mm-hmm. And, they're going through that, and Ree mentions as they're leaving that she thinks that there's something wrong with the healer squadron, or that the school is hiding something from them, more specifically. And Violet does get a little bit worried. She's like, what do you mean? Like, in her head she's
I'm
like,
so
you can't
sorry.
know. Pause.
Pause.
Did I miss something?
That's in chapter 11. I don't think that happens here.
Because I wrote it down in my notes, and it says Ree thinks there's something up with the healer squadron. That happens as they're walking towards the suspect.
Okay.
Yeah, because you also have it. Ree is concerned they're hiding something from them.
Got it. We're there. I'm sorry. I thought we were further down. That was my
No,
fault.
you're good. You're good. You're good. Unpause. So they're and Violet before this does approach Bodhi and is like, what do you think happened? What can I do to help? And really trying, because she does openly say Bodhi is the most reasonable out of all of the marked ones. And even Bodhi is like, no, 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 no. No, no, no. You are not helping. Shut up. I don't care what you're saying.
Absolutely. And I love that he stood on business and said, no, you're not ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
You need to leave. And I love that Imogen is like a little instigator. It's like, is she trying to like convince you to join the shenanigans? Like,
Yeah.
it's so fun putting our lives in danger.
Yeah. Yes. I love it. It's so good. And that's when Ree comes up afterward and is like, I think they're hiding something. And she thinks that it's really weird how she went to go see Nolan to help somebody that was burned in the hole first day burning of the
Mm-hmm.
burning people running thing after the parapet. And she says that they're rushing people in and out, and she was trying to ask Nolan how he's doing, and they were like, no, 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 you need to go. And that it's just been really weird.
Yeah. Also, I just think that it's so interesting that she's like picking up that it's not the writer's quadrant hiding something, but she really does believe that it's like the healer's quadrant that's hiding something. And
Mm-hmm.
the fact that Varish is like, he doesn't have time
Yeah.
to talk to people and then just kind of shoos him away is so interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, they're walking to the mats. I don't know, the gym, I guess? Is that what it would be?
Yes, it's the gym, but they don't call it the gym.
I don't know what
I
they
don't
call
know. I can't remember what they call it. I don't
it.
even
I
think she
also
calls it anything.
really also back in Battle Brief, it was such a little thing, but I do love how Riddick was like, oh, look at all those first years having to use quills. And then Rhea and Sawyer kind of like, we had to use quills before. We knew lesser magic, right? And he's like, yeah, but look at us now. We get to use pens. Like, it
Wow,
was
now
funny.
look at us.
Look at him
I
go.
love that.
Yeah. So now they're in the gym. And Ree does bring it up. She's like, hey, like, are you mad at me? Because you just seem to be, like, avoiding me. Like, are you
Mm-hmm.
mad that I didn't choose you for executive officer and that I chose Sawyer? And then Violet does say, no, like, I have to be gone every other weekend because I have to go see Zayden. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
no, you made the right choice. And also, I don't want to be in leadership anyway.
Yeah. I think that her not wanting to be in leadership stems from the secrets that she knows,
Yeah.
as well as just she's never openly had a desire to ever take leadership within the writer's quadrant. In the scribe quadrant, she did outwardly express that she probably did want to be like a head scribe.
Mm-hmm.
But here, she has never talked, even in Fourth Wing, about her ever wanting a leadership role.
Yeah.
Which I think that would have been mentioned if she did have that type of desire, whether if it was offhandedly to Ree or just offhandedly to Zayden.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so they're all kind of filing in, and they're doing the assessment day for the first years, just trying to figure out where everybody is and everything like that. And Sloane gets on the mat and is like, I want to fight her. And and Imogen and everybody's like, that's a dumb idea. And Sloane is like, well, you said in her letters that her joints pop out and she's really fragile. It's like, how hard can it actually be? And Violet's like, excuse me? And Imogen's like, you're an acquired taste, man. Sorry. But
Yeah.
she says, like, oh, like, you don't want to fight her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Definitely not
Violet does say, like,
anymore.
at least not anymore. And she was like, and even Violet's like, is that a backhanded compliment? Like, did she just compliment me?
Absolutely. It
Absolutely.
was. For
And
sure.
Emeterio even said, I know who trained her, and I would not unleash her onto a first year. But I
Mm-hmm.
did too make a mistake. I did too make,
And
yeah.
I think that refers to him underestimating her
Mm-hmm.
in a lot, because we saw it in Fourth Wing where he was very much like, you need to step up, like the hesitation of putting her up against anybody like of significant strength or power, because he really thought that she was just gonna crack in half.
Yeah. And so Salone is gonna fight Auric, and Then
Grey Castle.
Auric Greycastle. What a name. And
I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm gonna have to make a comment about this name the entire time because that's such a. I mean, first of all, it is cool. Let's just throw it out there. It's cool, but also at the same time, what a dramatic name. Like, you couldn't pick a more normal name, sir.
I know.
Just that's what it was. I mean, I'm not saying that that's not a normal name in this realm, but I don't think that it is. Just by
No.
the way everybody looked at it, they were like, okay.
Just going about it. It's fine.
Yeah. But she
And
does make a comment about how she thinks that Salone might be okay because she's Liam's little sister,
mhm.
and that her fighting Ulrich might not be a big deal because she's like, obviously, you know, she should know how to fight.
Yeah. And then another first year is like, where's Violet Sorrengail? And Nadine ends up just kind of making fun of Violet in a way. It's like, oh, look, I'm Violet Sorrengail. And like, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
look at my purple hair and kind of just, making fun of Violet. And this the first
First
year
year.
comes, thank you. The first year comes over and literally just like turns and snaps her neck.
Which is crazy. And mind you, this is the first year that threw one of the
Another first
other
year.
people off of the parapet when they were crossing. This
Mhm.
was the extremely brutal first year.
The Jack alike.
Yeah, very similar to Jack.
Yeah. Jack Jr. is what they said.
Yeah, Jack Jr.
Yeah. And, that's the end of chapter 9. It ends on a pretty big, oh shit.
Yeah, just I kind of like how sometimes she does end her chapters like that, where it's just like somebody dies, a little quick thing, and then we move on, and she's like the shock factor of that ending is
Yep.
sometimes I absolutely love that.
Oh, God, yeah. Yes, absolutely. Would you like to start us off with chapter 10?
Yes. So chapter 10 is kind of starts with Violet obviously being in shock and jolting up and is like, I'm Violet Sorrengail and nobody else is going, like, he's mine. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
And it's
Violet
like,
Sorrengail, he's
but
mine.
also,
Nobody
he
else is going to take
seemed,
that.
yeah. And also, did you notice how shocked he seemed? Like, it was a genuine,
Mm-hmm.
wait, that wasn't Violet Sorrengail? Like, it wasn't just, oh, I get to kill another person. It was oh shit, I just killed somebody that I didn't mean to. For a brief second.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was so interesting that there was that look of confusion about what happened. And Violet is obviously now ready to fight, not going to let anybody else die for her.
Mm-hmm.
Does say that she is Violet Sorrengail. And Darna does wake up for a second and asks if everybody's okay, and she just yells to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And she's realizing that her shields do break down a bit when she's in high stress situations.
Yeah.
But
and I mean, I don't blame her.
also,
You're focusing on so many other things when you're, especially when you're fighting, you're thinking of how is your body going to be, what moves are going to be best best do what you need them to do, and also, protect yourself. And so you're thinking of so many different things. You're going to something is going to slip out of your mind for a second.
absolutely. I 110% agree with that. And not only that is, I just find it so interesting because as she's fighting him, she's recalling certain things that Xaden has said to her. Like, don't leave yourself open. Don't go out for these flashy moves that, you know, could potentially get you hurt because you neglected to protect that side. And
And
she
like
is
don't like use your size to your advantage. Don't go for bigger moves that you know you won't be able to do.
absolutely, which I think is so great that she does have that critical thinking side on, but interesting that it's always said in Zayden's voice and not hers.
Mm-hmm.
And then
But also, I
she
will like
is
to.
using. Go
I
for
would
it.
like to comment on just she can think on the spot very quickly in those moments. Like
Absolutely.
she is so smart and so quick in those moments. Of, okay, this is what's happening. I need to do this, and it's not even just in like a fighting scenario, but any scenario where you have to kind of be on the defense. I've noticed that she is very. She's on
Calm,
it
cool, collected.
and be able to think. Like you know how some people shut
Yeah.
down when they're panicked. She definitely is
Oh,
not one of those people.
absolutely. Definitely not. And I think that that has to do with her being a scribe and being a writer at the same time.
Yeah,
I
and we
think
also
that it does show her range of knowledge because of that.
yeah, and she also what I have noticed as the book has gone on, both this book and Fourth Wing, she doesn't recite stuff anymore when she gets nervous. Like she isn't getting nervous as much, and so she's not reciting scribe things. Like when she walked through that parapet, she was 100% a scribe, and now it's kind of not
It's
as
very
much.
much evened out.
Yeah,
Yes, she still is doing some scribe things, but I don't think that it's that.
it's
It's
not
not
as
her whole
significant anymore.
personality anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Like
before it
you
was
said, it's
oh,
not
it's
as
training to be a
significant.
scribe. Oh, and I have to
Mhm.
recite things. It calms me down. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. And
Yeah.
it's she's not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Like she'll
Which I
acknowledge
love to
she's like, oh,
see.
I was training to be a scribe,
Mhm.
but it's oh, I'm a writer. Like that's how she introduces herself now.
Yep. And I love to see that, just like the burst of confidence that she has had between Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. She
Mm-hmm.
definitely seems more confident in herself, is getting less nervous. You know, even in like this situation, she was just ready to go and defend herself.
And she was, which is a big difference. She was ready to kill.
Yes. She is
She knew she
very,
was going in to kill this man
yeah,
before, and like before she would have never done that.
absolutely. And I agree with that. Just to see how her fighting style has changed between Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, it just goes to show how much she has been training and how much work she has put in. Especially because now her fighting style is so different. She's using her size to her advantage. She's using the daggers that are meant for her, like the size inclusive daggers,
Yeah.
you know, that Zayden got her. She's
Which
using them in
again,
this
I love
fight.
that he made daggers for her.
Yeah, it is nice. Um, but she's using them, and she's also seeing how certain kinds of attacks that she uses heavily can also be used against her. For instance, she does throw a dagger and then realizes, because she missed like the point of contact, that it landed too close to him, and then he was able to in turn throw the dagger back at her, which,
Mm-hmm.
you know, she was obviously able to dodge and deduce that that was what was going to happen in the moment.
But
But
still, she's
very,
learning. She's able to pick
mhm,
up on what she's doing wrong and adapt, which I feel like
absolutely, she
is
wasn't able
hard
to
to
do
write.
before.
And she wasn't able to do that before, but it is hard, I feel
Mhm.
like, to write somebody, especially in a book, because you have to be so, like, you can't show it through, you know, TV or something. But I feel like
Yeah.
it is hard to show, like, oh, look, they're able to adapt. And,
Mhm.
like, they're actually gradually learning, which, I mean, you could do in a book if you know how to do it right, but.
Which I think Rebecca Yarros does know how to do it right, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And she's definitely proven that time and time again, which is obviously why we're so in-depthly talking about this book.
Yes. Yes.
And she, like Ashley said, she would have never gone into that fight knowing that she would have killed this man, but she went into the fight knowing that she was going to do that, and she does end it there. She does end up killing him.
Mm-hmm. And we do get right before he does die, he does lean down to her, and he says, "Secrets die with the people that created them." And so we know that he was sent by Atos.
Mm-hmm. General Atos, because that was one of the last things that he said to her before he left, because he was dismissed from the college.
Mm-hmm.
So very interesting that this is now becoming a large part of the storyline now. So it's like, not only is Dane pressuring her, but his father is as well, which is so interesting to see, because right after this, she is obviously a little bit more like shell shocked and things like that. And Dane like rushes over because she hasn't like spoken after she killed this man. And he's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Like, let me know." Like, and the only thing that she can say is, "Don't touch me." Like,
And she says it so gravelly. Like,
mm,
she yells it, it's gravelly, and it's so, like,
mm-hmm.
"Don't touch me." Like, she's using the last of her energy to, like, yell it.
Absolutely. Because what else is she going to do? She does know that her shields are down, that she knows that she doesn't have the strength to pick them back up, and she needs to protect herself, and that's the only way how she can actually do it currently at this time. I also think that it is interesting to note that when the
Emetario?
teacher's name, thank you, Emetario, comes up to her, he is hesitant and does ask, "Can I touch you?" Because she
Like,
did
is it
say
okay if I touch you?
yeah, is that okay? Because obviously she was very loud and demanding with that. So he does end up assessing her and says that she does have a concussion, and that if she wants to leave, she can leave. And she openly states, "No, I'm not going to leave, because this this is not going to end the same way as it did last year. I'm not going to walk out, and I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to stand even though I'm dripping in this other guy's blood." After she says that, she goes over and wipes her dagger on his uniform, and then
And
gets back
everybody
in the
watches.
line. Mm-hmm.
And
She
everybody's
gets
watching.
Absolutely. She gets back in line, and then somebody, I think it's Ulrich actually, that like kind of mocks Sloane and is like, "And to think you wanted to fight her."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, like
And
you said, too, during the fight, she's reciting Zayden's, teachings
mm-hmm,
to her, and she does go for the kidney, like he said when when they were doing their first teaching lesson, she goes for the kidney, like he kind of brought her to show her how to do.
yeah,
And that was what killed him.
yeah. I just think that it was great to see her in a very like close-handed combat fight that she was ready for, almost. Like, it was nice, it was refreshing to be like, "Oh wow, look how far she's come
It really was.
comparatively from the entire last book." And also, not to mention, like, look how far she's come even after what happened at the end of last book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, mentally and physically, I feel like she's come a lot further, and you can tell how the character is really evolving, which we love to see.
Absolutely.
And I think that it's interesting because now that everything is done, we're now seeing Sloane and Ulrich fight, and Violet is openly like, we watched Sloane we watched Ulrich basically demolish Sloane and put her on her back like 6 times during this fight. And she was kind of shocked because she was like, this is Liam's sister. I thought that she was going to be able to fight better. And Imogen openly says she was clearly not fostered by fighters. And you can tell.
Yeah.
And that's where we kind of leave off on that scene. And then we get to see Xaden for the first time in 8 days.
I'm so sorry. I need to tell you guys what Kaylee just did.
Interesting to note because Xaden is supposed to be there with her like every 7 days. So
and
meaning
every 8 days now.
Yes, so meaning
right?
that
is it on the 8th day?
Well, every like 7th day, like they get 2 days off like every 7 days. This is the first time Violet is seeing Xaden in 8 days, which I guess I don't know if it actually lines up. I know that there's some math out there that needs to be done, but they said every 7 days, so I assumed on the 7th day they would have been together. Like on the 7th day you are together and you leave on the 6th day.
So I don't know. I think it's okay. See, I don't know because I don't know if it's because they're told every 7 days, every 14 days they get a 2-day leave, and so I think they're together on the 8th day, or like late on the 7th day. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows. Please let us know because we do not know.
Yes, please comment. Anywhere
maybe we'll
below,
figure it out in
side.
Like a couple chapters, but we currently do not know.
I was gonna say that's a lot of math, you know.
Yeah, no,
it's
not my forte.
A lot of math. Yeah, unfortunately, not mine either. But Violet is so relieved to see Xaden at this point because she has wanted to see him since Battle Brief because she wants to know what's going on. Not only that, she's had a pretty stressful day. She just got done being attacked by this random first year, that almost killed her. She also just finished watching Sloane get beat or like get her ass beat multiple times and is like concerned that she's not going to be able to keep Sloane alive.
Because she thought she was going to, be raised in a household like Liam was, but she wasn't. She was not trained to fight. No, not at all.
Not at all, and you can definitely tell, and they openly say that multiple times. So now that they've finally reconnected after so many days, she is telling him kind of about, how her day has been. And she openly says, I think General Atos sent them. And he confirms that. Xaden actually confirms that her theory is most likely correct.
Yeah, and I mean, how could it be wrong? Because he literally said what Atos said. Like, how dumb. He should have just not said that. But he did technically think he was going to win at that point.
He probably did, yes.
But also, imagine being in a college. And obviously it's a war college, so it's not like your typical college. And just all of a sudden having assassins come after you. And like being targeted like that.
Yeah. I also think that it's crazy that, like, this happened to Mira as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they mentioned that, like, as she's getting cleaned up, like, the teacher says that
Yeah.
it happened to Mira too, which is so interesting.
Definitely.
Now Xaden is encouraging her to kind of get cleaned up, and as she's telling her story, he openly is like, I think I should stay here longer just so that I can kill some people for you, and then we're gonna go and head out. And she's like, you can't do that anymore, sir. You are a higher up, a lieutenant, correct?
Yeah.
And she's like, you can't just go around killing cadets.
Is he a lieutenant
now.
or is he? No, he is a lieutenant. I was gonna say officer. No, it's lieutenant.
The lieutenant sounds right.
It does.
It sounds
Please continue.
correct.
It does.
Yeah,
I agree.
was like, it sounds correct, but I also, I guess, could be wrong.
I believe it's lieutenant. We'll go with lieutenant. It's a nice name.
We're gonna go with lieutenant. And if anybody knows that is wrong, I guess go ahead and comment down below and correct us again. And then
it's been a long day, guys.
So as they're having this interaction, Violet is telling him that he really can't do that, and he just says, watch me.
Which I know you quite enjoyed when they said that, Kaylee.
I did scream a little.
She called me. Yeah, she called me and she's like, Ashley, I screamed. And I'm like, I'm not surprised, Kaylee. I'm so happy for you.
It's one of those things where, first of all, I know that both of them are toxic. Let's just get that stated, clear, out of the way. I know that Xaden is a toxic I love emo guys, and that's such a...
And he's our emo dragon boy.
Yeah, and I can't help myself, but that emo dragon boy is sometimes just knows what to say to make me scream.
Pause. And so I really do like the banter. I think it's fun. It's like, there's moments where I'm like, this is really fun. I get excited.
I think that just lends to how she writes the book, because honestly, there's so many things to scream about. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Really is.
Like, there's so many fun things. I know that, like, I call Ashley and I'm like, screaming about something that, like, Taryn said all the time.
Just yeah, like, all the time. Because it's not just Xaden. It's like all the characters. Like, there's a couple Riddick lines where I was like, that was great. Taryn.
Absolutely priceless. Love it. I can't get enough Sorrengail.
And like, if nothing else, I really like her dialogue. I think she writes good banter and good character dynamics, even if they are toxic.
Yes, because I just.
But I think she knows what she's doing. What?
Yes, I do. I would absolutely agree. She definitely knows what she's doing with that.
And I think it's all going to come to fruition later, I hope.
Yeah. And so as they're kind of talking about this, they're looking around her room, and she just asks because she attempted to bring somebody into her room, and she says,
I think it was
Ree,
wasn't it?
It was Ree. She just wanted to, like, bring Ree into her room to talk to her, and she was like, did you ward my room for just me and you? Because I tried to bring Ree in here the other week, and she ended up down the hall.
Which is so funny.
So funny. I love it. But also,
like, imagine trying to break in to, like, murder her, and now you're just, like, somewhere else.
Yeah, transported to the end of the hall. Like, I'm sorry, did I get the wrong room? Deja vu, maybe? Like, this feels odd. Right?
I feel like I just walked down this hall.
Yeah. But also, he was telling her that it's warded for anybody that she wants to bring in. So if she's physically touching that person, they can come into the room with her, not a problem, which I think is nice, but also there is a lot of like context to that. And he did say that, oh, her room is also soundproof, that he warded it against sound, which is, as we know, for them might be beneficial later on.
Yes.
She does make a little joke about, oh, that probably won't happen, but like, I could bring anybody in here because you're letting me. And he says, that's okay. I don't think any, like, for instance, he doesn't know if anything will happen, but he wants to give her the option and be clear that she has that opportunity if she ever wanted to do that, because she has been threatening that quite a bit now. She's like, we're not together.
I could do whatever I want. I could do whoever I want.
Exactly. That sentiment is what she's been saying. I want to say this is technically their second encounter, because if we're going to say that the first one is when he leaves.
Yeah.
And then now
like
this
after
one.
The fact.
Yes, after the fact. This is just like the first time, like the second time that they're meeting. I shouldn't say encounter because that sounds...
And I was like, okay,
suggestive,
we have a different count, but that's okay.
But he is very accepting of it and is just kind of like, hey, maybe you should do that after you're healed. And he also does mention that the armoire in her room now definitely looks sturdier. And if
which is really funny.
If she wanted to take a crack at it, they could after she's healed. Which
really funny. But it's also, I feel like she writes the characters realistic in the sense of that's how you would ask somebody if you were in that type of relationship. You know what I mean? No, but I feel like it's something like, you know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean by that?
Not really. I would not ask somebody that way. But I mean, like, she writes the characters very, for the most part, realistically. Like, it's for their age, especially.
Yes, for their age and their dynamic, definitely.
As I've killed Kaylee, I can continue pushing. They're definitely written well for their age and dynamic. And, Violet does respond with, I'll just continue for Kaylee. Violet does respond with, nobody's fully healed around here. Like, it's, oh my gosh. I think I broke Kaylee. Okay, and so she does comment on that. It's like, no one's fully healed, which is true. Like, whether it's war games, it's the gauntlet, it's the parapet. I mean, you die after that, but, like, no one is fully 100% healed in Vazgaiath. And also, you have dragons. Like, I feel like you're gonna get at least bruised. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I also think that is a comment directly towards the fact that now there is a waiting list for healing.
Yeah. For sure. Like, because Nolan is so tired and backed up. Like, there's huge waiting list, so you're gonna have to sit there. And, like, if you have a broken arm, you're not gonna be able to get it mended right away, because who's gonna do it? They have one mender, at least one mender to the degree of knowledge and power that he has. I don't know if I can look at you right now. Yeah, they kind of continue this conversation. And she does mention how ruthless Xaden is. Yeah. And Violet does mention, she's like, this is hard. Like, this is really hard. And Xaden does say the second years lose their humanity, and that's the hardest part about this year. Like, first year you lose kind of, I forget what he said. You learn how to, like, ride and, like, stay on your dragon. The second year is when you lose your humanity.
I feel like the first year, honestly, is just them, yes, learning how to ride, but also them learning how to become not as afraid to die, because the most people die in year one.
Yeah. And
not
people...
to say that second years or third years don't die, but for the most part, they have the most losses in the first year.
Oh, absolutely. And the first year is them learning how to survive. And like you said, being okay with dying, but also how not to die.
Yeah. I think that's very fair to say.
And also learning to see death around you. Whereas in the second year, you're seeing the younger people die.
Yeah.
And the people that aren't prepared, like, they don't know. Like, at least when you're second year, you know what's kind of coming. The first year you walk across that parapet, you don't know. Because everything's kind of kept a secret.
Yeah, because it has to be kept a secret, because obviously they don't want anything to be leaked to the Griffin Riders, but then also I feel like if it wasn't kept a secret, would that many people sign up?
Exactly. And he starts talking. He's like, I don't have much time because Garrick is at the door. And, you know, they're going to talk and kind of talk about what happened on both sides so they can kind of be ready. And Violet says, like, oh, are you going to let me listen? And he's like, no, not till your shields are ready. You can't, it's safety, man. And he's like, I can't give you the full truth yet, but I can give you this. And he hands her a handwritten letter, and he starts writing letters to her. And she mentions how he warded Xaden warded his own door at his base.
Yeah, at the place that he's stationed.
Yeah. And how it's warded for just her and him. No one else. Like, he can't bring anybody through.
I love it. I'm sorry. I think it's so incredibly cute to start writing letters to somebody. I just think
it is really cute. I would love to have a pen pal.
Yeah, and the fact that he is, like, so willing to, like, write her letters about his life or just anything, I think is so sweet, especially because they don't have a lot of time in person to spend with each other. They only have, every 7 days? Like, yes, one person gets, and it's like 14 days, but yeah, it's 1 day, and so how are
it's
they
1 day
really
flying,
going to...
1 day there, 1 day back, basically.
But it's also like, how are they actually going to be able to talk everything out if they're not going to spend time? And Violet does bring that up earlier in the chapters. So it's
she does.
Nice
That's one of her first thoughts of how are we going to work this out if I can't talk to him, because this isn't going to get fixed if I can't talk to him. Which I'm glad that she's not immediately running back to him. Like, she's holding the boundary of, I mean, we know her thoughts, but she's holding the boundary, and I give her credit for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like, that's good, especially when you feel so heavily betrayed like Violet does. And I think that it's good to stand your ground and stand on your morals. And if that is, like, a boundary that they have crossed, then you really need to stick to that boundary.
Yeah, and that's how chapter 10 ends.
Yep, that's where chapter 10 ends. And so now our big announcements for our spoiler side. Spoilers!
Yep, we're going to be getting into some spoilers, so there's your heads up.
There's our heads up. everybody knows we're talking into spoilers, and we're going to start off our spoilers with the beginning excerpts of the chapters. And I really just have been loving the way that we've been starting the spoiler section with the beginning excerpts, because I really do think that they foreshadow so much more, not only for like the next couple of chapters or what's going to happen in the chapter, but also really sets up for the next book, which I have been really excited just going over the beginning excerpts, because I'm like, oh my goodness, that this beginning excerpt basically like foreshadows things or events that are going to happen even in Onyx Storm, which is crazy, but I love it.
I guarantee you this is all foreshadowing the last book too. Like, this isn't just foreshadowing Onyx Storm. I think like after the entire series is done, I think we could go back, read all the beginning excerpts, and just be like, it was all right there. It was out there from chapter 5 of Fourth Wing. Which I know you and I have a theory from the end of Fourth Wing of both Mira and Brennan.
Mira and Brennan are going to
turning Venom, and and it's a whole fight because they talk about a fight between the 3 siblings, and I'm like, come on, who else would it be?
Yeah, who else has 3 close siblings that are still alive? Hello.
And so, yeah, exactly. Happen. So, with the first beginning excerpt now in front of my face.
Wonderful.
Let me read it. And now in the mountains of the Steel Ridge... wow, what a tongue twister. Steel Ridge Range, the green dragons of the... I am so sorry. I am unable to read, apparently. A certain line that I will never be able to pronounce because it just looks like letters put together in my brain. I know it's not, but my brain does not read it that way. So it is a certain line, lineage line, known for their keen intellect and rational continence, offered in their ancestral hatching grounds for the first good of dragon kind, and the wards of Navarre were woven by the first 6 at what is now Basgiath War Basgiath War College. I can't talk.
Thank you, Ashley. What a beautiful
Do I need to repeat that?
No, I will explain it. So
Thank
basically, the hatching grounds at Basgiath, that is now shared by all of the dragons, was the original hatching grounds of the green dragons. So the green dragons gave up their personal hatching grounds for everybody else, which I find extremely interesting, because why are there different hatching grounds? Where are the other different hatching grounds? Have they been taken over? Are there still dragons there?
How interesting.
There's so many questions about it. And then not only that, is they do mention that the green dragon line is extremely understanding.
Keen intellect and rational countenance.
So interesting that they're very rational, as well as they're extremely smart.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like something to take into play about that.
Absolutely.
I just think that it's so interesting that it was originally just the green dragon's hatching ground.
Yeah. Yeah. And also how interesting for them to weave the wards at what is now Basgiath, and they put Basgiath where that is.
Yeah.
Which I guess they wanted the hatching ground, so they could choose their dragons, but even then they don't choose their dragons in the hatching ground. People don't go there.
Yeah.
They choose it in Threshing. So why do they build Basgiath there?
possibly to be like the first defense if the venom ever does attack. Like, they're going to hit the college before they hit the hatching ground.
Yeah.
So probably a strategic move for the dragons to say, hey, you should build that here.
Yeah.
Also, I find it really interesting because Mira has a green dragon.
I also am really interested in, when the wards were first built, if it was both the griffins and the dragons together against the venom, why did they kick the griffins out? What happened?
Well, I mean, we kind of got a glimpse of that in Onyx Storm after they raised their wards, that the griffins lose magic. They lose the ability to have lesser magic.
That is true.
So that's why they didn't stay within the wards. But also the fact that they haven't figured that fucking problem out yet.
Right? I think it's interesting. They couldn't change the wards to accommodate everybody.
Yeah. But also not only that is, I am kind of surprised that, like, yes, Griffin riders have a lot more control of lesser magic. So does that mean that they have more magic in them? So why have they not built their own wards? Why can Griffins not build wards? Why only dragons?
Yeah. And I do believe... We'll get into it. We'll get into it in like 2 minutes. The next beginning excerpt is... It is not unheard of that a cadet enters the Writer's Quadrant having been paid to assassinate a cadet. I'm sorry Mira was targeted, but proud to say she dispatched the threat quickly. You have enemies, General. Official notice from Commandant Panchek to General Sorrengail.
It is interesting that it's common that assassins are put in there.
It says that it's not unheard of, which doesn't mean it's common, but it's not uncommon. Like, but it's not oh my god.
At this point, I feel like it's quite common for a Sorrengail to get targeted.
Oh, absolutely.
And the fact that Mira also, within her second year, was targeted to attempt to get to her mom is extremely interesting.
And now it's an attempt to get at Violet. So I'm wondering...
The reason why I kind of find it... You're wondering if?
Because as we know, her mother knew of the venom and everything happening, but chose to stay quiet to protect her family. So I'm wondering if she was doing stuff kind of behind the scenes, and then people were attacking her kids to get her to stop.
I don't know if it was her, or if it was the dad researching Feathertails.
Yes. Yeah.
So I find that to be extremely interesting to know. And because I don't think Mira knows anything about either A, how boring I am, or B, the research that her dad was really doing. And C, I don't even think that she knew that the venom existed. I don't think that she knows yet.
I don't think so either.
I mean, actually, you know that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
So
we know for a fact she doesn't know.
Yeah. It's quite interesting about why they were targeted, and I think that they're being targeted for a different reason. I think Mira was targeted to get to her parents, whether that be General Sorrengail or Scribe Sorrengail.
Yeah, and then besides these, getting into the actual spoilers of the chapters. So, you wrote this first one, so would you like to start us right off, and then I could do the second one?
Sure. In chapter 9, we see that they open with, the first battle brief that they have, and Markham is the head scribe. I was going to say the leader of the scribes, but head scribe sounds much better.
Yes, it does.
But Markham has openly been stating that he is tired. He says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I should know better. I just haven't had as much sleep as Ashley has, and I'm just so exhausted."
Apparently I'm tired too.
And, just yawning all over class, going crazy. But I wonder if he's tired because he has been doing research on how to make sure that Jack gets turned. Like, we know that at this point they're turning Jack, or attempting to, turn him back.
Mm-hmm.
So, because they're attempting to turn him back, and Nolan can only do so much as a healer, there's got to be some research that needs to be done. So why would the head scribe that filters everything? Also, the fact that in this chapter, we basically learn that Markham is definitely one of the ones changing the information. Because as the head scribe, how could he not be?
Yeah, because he wrote the textbook of Navarre history. So he had to, whether it was he was doing it himself or he, without a better law, I guess he had a dragon at his head. Oh my god. He had a dragon at his head about to shoot fire at him to change the text.
I don't know if the dragons forced them to change the text.
I meant someone making their dragon. But so I guess for better wording, he had a gun at his head saying change the text. With lack of better wording.
Okay. I see what you mean. Okay. That was slightly
But also,
confusing,
what if the dragons wanted to change the text? Because we know the dragons do have secrets.
I know that the dragons do have secrets, but specifically, why would the dragons want them to change the text when I think that it would be the humans doing it so that they can A, keep the deal with the dragons, and then B, make sure that their community is docile and follows them blindly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because I feel like that's why most people change history to make their citizens feel better. I'm so sorry.
Yes, I agree with that. Yes.
I know that that's not an actually outlandish statement, but,
I agree. And so our second point that we wanted to touch on a bit was how Violet says that she's having nightmares. And, as we find out at the end of Onyx Storm, she's a dream walker. But also, so she says she's having nightmares, but if you listen closely, Imogen says, "Oh, I'm having nightmares too." And so, is she dream walking into her dreams? She just doesn't know it?
Well, she does say that she keeps dreaming about Resin, and Imogen says that she is too.
Mm-hmm.
So possibly, but I don't think so.
It could be maybe a slight combination of both.
I think it could be a slight combination of both, but also her having nightmares, because Darna wakes up in these chapters, and I think that is such a big point and has something to do with the nightmares. I think that also Darna might be trying to go into her dreams, and because Darna is forcing herself in there, it's might be quote unquote causing nightmares. But not only that, is I do think that it could just be Xaden's dream, because if you think about what she is seeing, she's seeing Soleil die and Liam die.
That is true. So I think it could be
And
a
Satan
mix
would
of both
probably,
her dreams and his dreams.
yeah.
But
Because
we do
I
know that,
would,
because he was, I guess Imogen wasn't there when he died.
no, he wasn't. No, she wasn't.
Yeah, because I know that she does dreamwalk into, I forget who. In Onyx Storm, how they figure it out is she was dreamwalking in Xaden's, and then she was dreamwalking she dreamwalked one time into someone else's dream, and there's
I
fire
think it's
in the
Bodhi
photo.
or Imogen.
I think it was Imogen.
Oh, that's Kat's. That's Kat's dream.
You're right. It was Kat's dream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's Kat's dream when she's like running in to get her family portrait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the next thing that we wanted to touch on that we also thought was very interesting, and I don't know how we didn't catch this the first time, Besgaeth gets info about the outpost and everything like that before the king does.
Once again, I feel like this is where it comes down to this is why I do think it is the people. Like, I think it is the people. I don't think, like, I guess, if we want to go off the theory that the dragons are evil, then absolutely the dragons are the ones changing it. But as we found out that the Empyrean is quite split on how they feel about humans and things like that.
And I don't think that their big secrets that they're hiding from humans are them rewriting the history. Ignore what I said. Dumb. I just tossed it out. It was dumb. Continue.
Well, I was going to say, it doesn't sound dumb if you really think about it. If you think that, if the dragons are evil, the dragons have the most power in the situation because humans are prey, could easily manipulate either their human or somebody else's human to do what they want because they're a large, vicious dragon.
Yeah.
But also, I just find it interesting how really Markham has so much control. Like, it's almost like kind of how Violet's dad said within Fourth Wing, scribes hold all of the power. Which
and I think that has to come back.
It's going to. I know that it is, especially when, like, talking specifically about her dad, and we got to see a lot more of, like, the excerpts from her dad in Onyx Storm, and a little bit in this book, and a little bit in Fourth Wing, but mostly in Onyx Storm. And you really see how the scribes really do hold all that power. Like, it's right here. Markham is the one changing the news for the king.
Yeah. Which is so interesting. Why? Tell me why.
I think it's to, once again, like, it's almost like the king is a figurehead. Doesn't really do much, just is there to look pretty, and because you have that blood, you're going to sit there and you're going to look pretty. But actually, everybody over at Besgaeth is actually running the country. Is actually distributing news, media, propaganda to fit the narrative that we are the good guys.
Yeah. Now, do you think the king is aware of it, or do you think it's the scribes trying to control everything?
I think it has to be half and half because Ulrich states either at the end of this book or beginning of Onyx Storm that he knows about the Venom. And that's why he joined, because he knew, and he knows that the royal family knows. So the Venom is kind of part of it. But I think a lot of either, like, rebellion writing or any type of, like, resistance is, like, not mentioned. I think they just get like very rough bullet points. But the king has to know about it because how would Ulrich know? Like, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. 100%. And, speaking of corrupt leadership, Ato's sending the assassin to her when we are listening to the chapter. So sorry. I'm trying to find it.
Which I find is so interesting that Atos wants to kill Violet so badly. It's just so interesting because she has been family friends with them for forever. Grew up with Dane, and now all of a sudden General Atos is like, we have to kill her now because she knows too much.
Yeah.
But also the fact that he hasn't run that by General Sorrengail at all.
No.
So
yeah,
I
she
find
does not know of his plan at all. I find it very interesting that that's happening, and I wonder if this is, a little bit of a power grab for him. If he Oh, absolutely.
is able to like complete this mission, then less people know.
And if you really think about it, if he kills Mira and Violet, they think Brennan's dead. And then he goes and kills Sorrengail, or General Sorrengail, he's next in line pretty much.
Absolutely. But also, not only that is, if you kill Violet, you're going to cause a rift between two crowds. Obviously,
Yeah.
General Sorrengail and that crowd, but then not only that, you're going to push waves through the rebellion.
And you're going to get them out of hiding again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And but what I find really interesting is how, again, I'll read this. Secrets die with the people who keep them, he whispers, bringing his nose an inch from mine. His eyes are light brown but rimmed in red, as though he's been on some kind of drug. He's a Venom. So it's interesting how, because she didn't mention that power flowing through her, like when Jack was channeling through her. So he was clearly a Venom beforehand, because she didn't even feel it around her. And so Atos sent someone that's a Venom to her.
Which I find interesting because we're going to bring this back up about how I think Markham is researching and Nolan is quote unquote healing. But I think that in doing that, I think they're attempting to bore Ashley to death. But also, I think they are wanting to experiment on people. And this could be a quote unquote failed experiment.
Yeah.
That maybe they are turning people to see if they can turn them back and to see how well things are working.
Because someone in the government is corrupt and they need to change them back.
That and like that, or they are trying to like manipulate the Venom into fighting onto their side because they are stronger. Quote.
Yeah.
Quote unquote stronger.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, but I agree. I think it is very, because of how much they're trying to hide it, but yet they're sending them pretty much in plain sight. You just have to know what you're looking for.
But it's the fact that a lot, like everybody there doesn't know what they're looking for. That they can hide so they're in plain able to sight. Do it. And also, the red rim around the eye is the beginning stage. because their eyes turn fully red, right? After they've fully
With
changed.
veins or something. Like, they get veins on their face.
Yeah. They look really fucking stoned.
You get veins on the side of your face.
Yeah.
All the time.
Just bloodshot eyes. All of the veins. But also, just the fact that this is somebody who has, like, recently turned. Mm-hmm. And, like, recently become part of it.
Yeah. But, like, not recently, because as we see in Onyx Storm, because Xaden channeled once, he got the red rimmed eyes, they went away. He channeled twice, it took longer, but they went away. He channeled 3 times, it went away. But then, it was either the third, fourth, or fifth time, I don't remember. And it was the third time that it stayed, briefly, like, slightly, that you could always see it, or the onyx in his eyes started changing. And then the fourth time it permanently stayed that way, and they were amber now. And then the fifth time is when he fully changed, because he channeled everything.
Yeah.
So it was one that had channeled multiple times at least, because they stayed.
Yeah. But still in the beginning phases of being a Venom.
Yeah.
Still in the beginning phases of turning fully. And so he had not changed fully, but it's interesting because that's exactly how she kind of described Jack's eyes too.
Yeah.
So I do like how offhanded she, like, throws it in, but we, have been encountering multiple Venom now through these books.
Yeah. Isn't that wild? How it's literally just there if you don't know what you're looking for. If you know what you're looking for, it's just there. But if you don't know what you're looking for...
Which I think is so interesting. But also just the fact that... Another thing I wanted to point out was when Violet and Rhea are talking, and Rhea is like, oh, are you mad at me for not choosing you to be part of leadership? And she was like, I just thought Sawyer would be better because you're gone. And Violet is like, absolutely. I have no interest in any type of leadership. Which I like that she is, like, establishing that now, so that when it does happen in Onyx Storm, it has already been foreshadowed that she does not want to do it, and she has no desire to be part of any type of leadership.
This is not what she wants to do. And, like, because Xaden is Duke of Tyrrendor, so now she's Duchess of Tyrrendor, because he left with no 12 hours and, and a ring. I mean, and so now she's Duchess of Tyrrendor.
Did they get married?
Did they? Iffy. Is the ring just
for
you need
show?
To think you're a duchess? Is it for show? And Bodhi and Imogen are the ones that got married?
I love it.
Running it in behind.
Once again, love it.
Because I know that some of the theories is that Bodhi is the brother. And that's why they had to pass it on to Violet. But we can get to that when we get there. Because I know we're going to have so much to talk about when we get there. So we got to save some things. You got to be patient with us. Yes. Trust me, we're trying so hard. Yeah. But I do really like how she was like, I don't want to do leadership. I have no interest in leadership. I just kind of want to be a part of the cog in the machine. She's already known enough. Like, people know her.
Yes.
Name.
Which I like that she has no desire for it. She's never wanted to. She never will.
Yeah. She's not looking for power, and she's not with Xaden for power, and blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which I think, like, solidifies their relationship better, just because she is not there because he's a powerful guy. She is there because she likes emo dragon boys, too.
Yep. She does like emo dragon boys.
Valid though.
They are fun. Yeah. And then the last thing, this is just such a tiny thing, but I did want to bring it up. The way Nadine dies and then the chapter just suddenly ends very much felt like it was the same emotion I felt. Maybe a little less strong just because I care about Mira more. But in Onyx Storm, when Mira gets her throat sliced, I remember audibly going, oh my god! Like, what do you mean? I replayed it like 3 times, and then I was like, Ashley, just keep listening. Like, what are you doing?
I know, right? Just like
I remember you calling me so vividly about that too. Like, Ashley, I'm like, keep listening, Kaylee.
I was not prepared. It was just so sudden, and there was no ramp up to that situation.
And it felt so similar to Nadine's.
Mm-hmm. It really did, because, you know, her throat doesn't get slit, but she does
her
get
neck
her neck
twisted.
Broken. Literally in 0.5 seconds because she's gooping around.
Mm-hmm. And so it's just, you weren't expecting it. I do remember when I was reading this the first time going, oh my gosh, like, I was not expecting, like, just like, whoa, like, that kind of came out of the blue. What is happening?
Mm-hmm. But I love that she's willing to kill off characters. It's really nice. It's refreshing.
It really is. I feel like, and I get it, but I feel like a lot of authors get really attached to their characters because, you know, you're hanging out with them in a sense for, you know, 500-600 pages, and not even that, you're thinking them in situations in real life so you can get their personality. Like, you're hanging out with these characters. So I get having a hard time killing them off, but I do believe it makes such a good story when you have the balls to kill off characters.
I agree.
And with that is it for today.
Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, do all of the things. And the last
all of the
question
buttons
that we have to say to you is, what did the void say to you?
But I cannot stress this.
See, I yawned before we started, Ashley.
You're so juicy and delicious. Okay, I'm so happy for you.
I thought you meant my yawn was, and I was like, okay, Ashley.
Your yawn is so juicy and delicious. Jesus.